Today, we are going to continue with what we did yesterday. We are still going to be identifying these special angles. However, today we are going to be doing that with parallel lines. And you're going to see, because of the parallel lines, we're going to have some special cases here. So, what are parallel lines? Lines that don't intersect, right? And at the beginning of the year, do you remember we learned that parallel lines have the what? Same, what's the number next to x? Slope. Parallel lines have the same slope. So I am going to tell you right now, these lines are parallel. Can you please draw little arrows? Remember, that's the symbol. So what we're doing does not work unless they have the symbol or tell you they're parallel. So real quick, I'm just going to show you. You don't need to open up. But do you see how this says A is parallel to B? What we're doing works. This doesn't say that they're parallel, but what does it have? Those little arrows tell me these are parallel. All right, same thing right here. These arrows tell me they're parallel. So it either needs to tell you it's parallel or have these arrows for what we're doing today to work. Okay? Now, I'm going to take my protractor and I'm going to measure angle 2. And I'm pretty sure this needs to be extended. Where's my little, here we go. So I'm going to extend this because it's really hard to see what it is if I don't. So this is going to be, how many degrees is angle 2, about how many degrees is angle 2 going to be? 60. Do y'all agree it's about 60 degrees? So can everybody put a 60 degrees on angle 2? If angle 2 is 60 degrees, what else do I automatically know? Why is 3 also 60 degrees? These are vertical angle. Put arches next to them. Remember, they're vertical. I know they're going to be the same. Do we know anything else?
6 and 7 are all 60.
Why 6 and 7?
Because they're also they're linear.
Okay. So, if these lines were not parallel, we could not assume that. Okay, so let's go back to really quickly. I just want to make sure we understand. If we go back to yesterday's notes, where are yesterday's notes? If we go back to yesterday's notes, if these were parallel, I could not assume that 2 and 6 are going to be the same. Because you see how they don't go together, like they're the line A and B don't go the same direction necessarily. Same thing right here. We could not assume that this one is the same as that one. These lines are not parallel. But if they're parallel, that's what we're going to learn today. I could put this right here, measure 6. And how many degrees is 6? 6 is also 60 degrees. What kind of angles are 2 and 6? You're not wrong. They are acute. But give me one of the words we learned yesterday. What type of angles are 2 and 6? Same side or different sides? Inside or outside? One's outside, one's... What was that called when one was outside, one was inside? CA. CA, if the lines are parallel, are congruent. CA are congruent. Write it down. Again, this only works if the lines are parallel. Well, what about AIA? What's alternate interior angle to 6? What are those? Are those the same or different? They're the same. AIA is also congruent. Y'all told me something else was 60.
7.
7. Because it's a vertical angle to 6, that's going to be the same. What about AEA? 7 is AEA with what? 2. Are they the same or different? Same. All of these are congruent or the same if your lines are parallel. If you know one, you know all of them. Well, what about the same side interior angles? So how would I find, if I know this is 60, how would I find 4? Louder, Leslie. Why 180 minus 60? Do y'all agree these two make a line? And what is a line? 180 degrees. So I'm going to do 180 minus 60. What is 180 minus 60? So angle 4 is 120 degrees. If angle 4 is 120, angle 1 is 120 degrees. If angle 1 is 120 degrees, angle 5, its corresponding angle is 120. If angle 5 is 120 degrees, what? Angle 8. What's angle 8 to angle 5? Vertical angles. Do you see how all I did was give you one number and you could figure out the whole thing? That is what we are going to be doing today. I'm going to give you one number and you're going to have to figure out what everything else is. Okay? Now, real quick, SSIA. SSIA is same side interior. For 3, what's the same side interior as 3? 5. Are those the same or are they different? They're different. How are they different? What vocabulary word can I use? They're what? They're supplementary. What does supplementary mean? Write this down, please. SSIA is supplementary. What about SSEA? Look at the same side, outside. They're also supplementary. And for those of you that don't like math words necessarily, what does supplementary mean? These equal 180. Uriel, write that down. The way that I remember which one's which, y'all, if it starts with an S, what is it? Supplementary. If it doesn't start with an S, what is it? Congruent. Okay? Do you have all of this written down on your paper? Open up when you are ready to go to the problems. I feel like lately I've been teaching for like 15 minutes max. And y'all have had a lot of time to do work. Today's not one of those days. Today's a day I'm going to be teaching. It's going to take me 15 minutes to do the rest of this. So just letting y'all know. I need y'all to pay attention. This is 50% of what your test is next Wednesday. All right. So you need to write this down. Right. If I'm writing it down, I want you to write it down. Okay. Open up. No computers should be open. You're just watching. So the way that we are going to do these is we are going to circle our given information and determine what type of angles they are. So what information does it give us? What angles are we looking at here? For number 1. Give me, that's the lines. What angles does it give us? Angle 1. So I'm going to circle angle 1. And what else? 3. Circle 3. What 2 questions did I say you need to ask yourself? Before that one, are they on the same side of this line or different sides? Same side. Are they inside or outside? Both. What is it when it's the same side, one inside, one outside? Everybody please put CA. That's the hardest one in my opinion. If you have same side, one inside, one outside, it is CA. If you need to, flip back to the front. Is CA congruent or supplementary? Does that start with an S? So if it does not start with an S, it's congruent. Well, what does that mean? If angle 1 is 30 degrees, what's angle 3? And that's your answer, and you're done. Is that really all we have to do? Yes. The hardest part is going to be figuring out what type it is. Once you figure that out, you're either writing the same number or you'll subtract from 180. Do I have any questions? Did you write this down? All right, let's do the next one. What angles are we dealing with on the next one? 1 and 6. Please circle angle 1 and angle 6. Is there a whole line we don't even care about right now?
Yeah.
Which one? You can either cover it up with your finger. I'm going to scratch it out. I do not care about this. Now again, what's the first question you need to ask yourself? Same side or different sides? Same side. Inside or outside? Are they in between these two lines or outside of the two lines? Outside. So it's exterior. Is SSEA congruent or supplementary? It starts with an S, so it's going to equal 180. If I know angle 1 is 30, how do I find angle 6? You subtract. 180 minus 30 is 150 degrees. You are either writing the same number or subtracting from 180. Write it down. Number 3. Number 3 looks a little crazy. Why? Because it's like how many lines are here? It's extra. There's 4 lines. It doesn't matter. Do the same things. What angles am I dealing with here? 2 and 7. Circle 2, circle 7. What do I not need? Oh, hold on. Pick your heads up, please. I know this is not the most entertaining, but it is one of the most important for this unit. Here we go. Head off the desk. All right, 2 and 7. Now, this one's also weird because it's sideways. If you need to, turn your paper. If this makes more sense when you turn your paper, do that. Are these on the same side of that line or different sides of that line? They are on different. So this is alternate. And put an A. Are they in between or outside? Again, turn your paper. Are these in between? Do I squish them or are they outside? Inside. So it is an AIA. AIA is what? What? Congruent. AIA is congruent. And so if angle 2 is 130 degrees, what's angle 7? The same number. If it's congruent, you just write the same number down. Oh, what's my transversal here? No. What's the transversal? The line that cuts 2 or more lines. Okay. It's basically asking which line is on both of them. Are both of them on? Both of them touch K. I want you to do number 4. Go. You do number 4 by yourself. Let's go. All right, let's circle 1 and 9. Circle 1, circle 9. What do I not care about? Line P. Cross out line P. We don't care about it. 1 and 9. Are they on the same side or different sides of this line? What? Different. Inside, in between the two lines, or outside? A, E, A. Is that congruent or supplementary? Congruent. So I just write the same number. All right, this next one is a trick question. 8 and 4. Where do 8 and 4, or what do 8 and 4 do? They're adjacent. They're right next to each other. What is that called when they're right next to each other? A linear pair. And what do we know? Because we don't even need this top one. Y'all, if you don't need, you only have one little section, then that's going to be linear pair of vertical angles. What do we know about a linear pair? What do we know about a line? It equals 180. So how do I find angle 4 if I know angle 8 is 20 degrees? 180 minus 20 is 160 degrees. Does that make sense? Because that's one that tricks y'all. If they're right next to each other like that, they're a linear pair. They make a line. You do number 6 and 7. Go. I want you to do 6 and 7. Go. Try it. What do you notice about 6? What do we notice about 11 and 16 on number 6? They're what? It's just the one section. If it's just the one section, are these a linear pair or vertical angles? Why are they vertical angles? They're right opposite across from each other. And what do we know about vertical angles? They're congruent. They are the same. So if angle 11 is 110, then angle 16 is 110. Vertical angles are the same. Number 7. We have 11 and 7. So I'm going to circle 11 again, and here's 7. What do we not need? Line M. That's irrelevant. Are these on the same side or different sides? Inside or outside? SSIA is what? Supplementary. So if angle 11 is 120, how do I find angle 7?
180 minus 120.
Subtract from 180. If it's supplementary, you're subtracting from 180. What is that? 60 degrees. What's my transversal here? What line is both of these touch? N. Okay. That is what most of your worksheet is today. Okay, your classwork today is mostly going to go over that. The last two questions you will have on your test, kind of like the end of the last two tests. You know how I've had to have you solve for X? Same thing. You're going to need to create an equation here. This says angle 5, I'm going to label it, is 125. Angle 4 is 9x plus 89. Can you please write that down? A lot of y'all, even if you don't know what you're doing, label the pictures. That's points. Don't get those points off because you just are a little confused. 4 and 5, are they on the same side or different sides? Different, so that's going to be alternate. Are they inside or outside? Exterior. AEA is what? Congruent. So if 5 is 125, what is 4? 4 is going to equal 125. So my equation is 9x plus 89 equals 125. If they're congruent, you make them equal. How do we solve this?
9 times 8.
What do I do? Get rid of your side chick, subtract the 89. That's 36. And then what? Divide by 9. If they're congruent, just set them equal and solve. Those ones are easier. They're easier than the next one. If they're congruent, you just make an equal sign in between them, solve it out. The next one's a little bit more difficult. A little bit. Maybe some of y'all know, but some of us, yes. Are we done writing? Or do y'all need more time? We're okay? For the next ones, it gives us 2 and 3. Are 2 and 3 on the same side or different sides? Same side. Oh, I'm going to write it out. I got to label. 5x plus 20, 9x minus 8. They're on the same side. Are they inside or outside?
Inside.
Same side inside is what? Supplementary equals 180. Your equation should have equals 180. If they're supplementary, it needs to equal 180. Well, what's going to equal 180? What do I do to these two things? You are going to add them together. What is 5x plus 20 plus 9x minus 8? How many x's am I going to get here? 14 x's. Does everybody see how I got 14 x's? Jonathan, you with me over there?
Mm-hmm.
But is he really? And then what? What is 20 plus negative 8? And if you're not sure, put that in Desmos. Nothing wrong with that. What's 20 plus negative 8? 12. And then now, doesn't this look like a problem we like? Draw your line. Get rid of your side chick. And divide. Does anybody have their calculator out? What's 168 divided by 14? Anybody got me? 12. Thank you. Are we done? Why not?
Yeah, software.
It wants us to solve for angle 3. How do I solve for angle 3?
9 times 12.
9 times 12 minus 8 is, thank you. Put that in the calculator and you get 100. Don't forget degrees. Now we are done. That's the most I've talked in a while, huh? Whew. Okay. I would like you to glue this into your notebook, and then you have a Schoology assignment. We only have 8 minutes left in class. You're not going to finish it. On Monday, when you finish your stuff on Monday, I want you to finish this Schoology assignment. All right? You can all get started on it now. The front is like what we did yesterday. Can you just... Ooh. So go into Schoology, start your assignment, please.